Who am I here with?
Will.
Okay, well, so I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Do you believe more girls are around frat guys rather than guys who are not in a frat?
Say that again.
Do you believe girls are more around frat guys rather than guys who are not in a frat? So do you think more girls would hang out with y'all or go to y'all, like, be around y'all, like, y'all have more options than a guy rather, like, than a guy that's not in a frat?
I don't know. I feel like people are more around the frat guys because they're more active.
Sure. Okay, share your reasons for wanting to be part of a fraternity and how you believe it aligns you with your college experience.
Just always something to do. A group of guys that just always have my best goals and interests, and they have the best in mind for me, and I love it.
Awesome, thank you.
Kyle Canton.
Okay, I'm asking you a few questions.
Okay.
Do you have less free time than a normal student at Tech since you're in a frat?
I don't feel like I have less free time. I feel like it's all up to the student, and someone that's not in a fraternity could have a busier schedule than me. Whatever it is, I just think it's up to the person and the student.
Okay. Another question is, are you able to have the same experiences as someone that is not in a frat?
Nah, I feel like being in a fraternity gives you a lot different experiences. It gives you a brotherhood of, a bunch of guys to be around, and we get opportunities for obviously not just to throw parties, but philanthropy events and community service. So I feel like my experience being in a fraternity versus someone who's not, our college experience is going to be totally different. So.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Who am I here with?
Tyler Stanley.
All right, I'm asking you a few questions. Do you have less free time than a normal male student at Tech?
I would say less free time.
So why is that?
I'm always on my toes, always doing something.
For your fraternity, so it keeps you busy?
Either that or I just got school going on.
And then another question is, are you able to have the same experiences as someone in a fraternity? As someone not in a fraternity, sorry.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Why is that?
I don't see what I'm able to do that they're not.
Okay, who am I here with?
Patrick.
Okay, I'm asking you a few questions. Do you have less free time than a normal male student at Tech?
I'd say probably not. That's just because of my workload, though, the classes.
Okay. And another question I'm going to ask you is, are you able to have the same experiences as someone who's not in a frat?
I'd say no, but in a positive way.
So it's what
So getting to get closer with my pledge brothers and getting to really bond all the time, always working together, it's teamwork and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I don't think everybody gets that opportunity.
Thank you. Who am I here with?
Champion.
Okay, I'm asking you a question. Are you able to have the same experiences as someone who is not in a fraternity?
I feel like no, just because, one of the big things we get to have our own parties and stuff like that, and get to meet lifelong friends.
Alright, thank you. Okay, who am I here with?
Kevin.
Okay, I'm asking you a couple questions. Do you have less free time than a normal male student at Tech?
I would say yes, yeah.
Why do you say yes?
Because I'm always busy with the fraternity and doing stuff with that usually, and they're not. They're usually just fucking dicking around doing homework and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Are you able to have the same experiences as someone who is not in a frat?
Yes.
Why is that?
The same?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have a different one,
Yeah.
but I think I could have the same, yeah.
So why do you think you could have it different?
Because I feel like we do different stuff. We do more stuff than they're doing.
Yeah, you party more and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Who am I here with?
Sawyer.
Okay, Sawyer. Do you think being in a frat you have better experiences than someone that's not in a frat?
Yes,
Why is that?
because I feel like I'm more involved with a lot of the stuff that goes on, and I feel like being in a frat is the best way to get connected to most events, you could say, like bar nights.
I also have one more question. Do you have more free time? So more free time than an actual student? No? Why is that?
Because I'm a pledge.
Alright, who am I here with?
Mason.
Alright, Mason, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Do you have less free time than a normal student at Tech?
Yeah, we're always doing something, whether it's charity work, study hours, or sosing, stuff of that sort. So.
Okay. And then the other question is, are you able to have the same experience as someone who is not in a frat?
I don't know what that means at all.
So are you able to is there a difference between a normal Tech student and people in a frat? Are you guys throwing parties that some people can't go to?
So being in a frat, you're able to go to more parties, and someone who's not in a frat, that's really about it. I would say if you're not in a fraternity, you will have a lot more free time. But besides that, I do recommend being in a frat.
Skylar.
Alright, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Do you have less free time than a normal tech student?
Yeah, probably being in a frat is kind of a lot of work. We got a lot of stuff to do with school, and then we do a bunch of charity work too. Being in Pike, it's a lot to handle during school, so yeah.
Alright, and then the other question is, are you able to have the same experiences as someone who is not in a frat?
I feel like we have better experiences because of the brotherhood that we have, and we do different experiences like helping out in the community and like little stuff like that.
Andy.
Alright, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So, not being in a frat, do you believe you're able to have the same experiences as a frat guy?
I don't think so.
Why is that?
I think being in a fraternity offers more social opportunities.
Okay. The other question is, do you believe not being in a frat, you're able to maintain jobs and better grades?
I don't think you're able to maintain a job as well if you're in a fraternity, just because there's a lot of time commitment sometimes. But I think grades, it's kind of subjective because some fraternities might prioritize grades over others. So I think that's maybe just here and there.
All right, okay.
Cody.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So, not being in a frat, do you believe you're able to have the same experiences as a frat guy?
I don't think so, no.
Why is that?
I don't know, just like less friends.
Less friends, okay. The other question is, do you believe that not being in a frat, you're able to maintain jobs and better grades?
Totally, just like way more free time.
More free time? All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody hear it?
Lance.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Not being in a frat, do you believe you're able to have the same experience as a frat guy?
Probably not the same experience, but I think that I'm able to do more anyway in terms of extracurriculars, but yeah, definitely not the same experience.
Okay, and then the other question is, do you believe that not being in a frat, you're able to maintain jobs and have better grades?
Yes,
Why is that?
definitely. I don't know, I feel like frats, that just takes up a lot of people's time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just feel like you have a better chance of maintaining better grades if you're just not in a frat, just because of how much time, of a time commitment it is, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, thank you.
Tyler Mack.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So, not being in a frat, do you believe you're able to have the same experiences as a frat guy?
So, not necessarily the same experiences, but if you put yourself out there, I'm sure you could. Me personally, I haven't, but no, I don't think you can experience like the same thing that they do.
So, like parties and stuff like that? Like
Yeah,
things
like
that
at
they
least
throw?
like ease of access of like getting into things like that.
Okay, awesome. All right, and the other question is, do you believe that not being in a frat, you're able to maintain jobs and better grades?
Not being in a frat, I think you have a lot of opportunities to like study as well, but I know that from friends in a frat, I've heard that they have study hours and such, and so I'm sure that like both you can get shit done.
Okay,
So.
thank you.
Lucas.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Alright.
So, not being in a frat, do you believe you're able to have the same experiences as a frat guy?
Sure.
Why is that?
I mean, you don't have to be in a frat to go out and have fun with your friends. Like clubs and even parties, so.
Okay. And then the other question is, do you believe not being in a frat, you're able to maintain jobs and better grades?
I think so. I think you get more time to delegate to that stuff versus having to pledge and go clean up parties and shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
So.
Okay, thank you. Am I here?
Ian.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Not being in a frat, do you believe you're able to have the same experiences as a frat guy?
Probably not.
Why is that?
You're not paying for the experience, I guess.
Are you able to go out more, or?
Not really. You know, engineering major, so.
Okay. Thank you.